Well, good evening. This is Seattle area, 8:30 p.m. Pacific time. Hi, how y'all doing? I've been doing or attempting to do a group on the psychic phenomena. Um yeah, it's just not psychics. We're also I'm wanting to deal with what does Reiki do? Healings. What is a fortune teller? You know, what does the tarot do? What is astro travel? All of these things have not been proven scientifically. They're all theories, and they're all strong belief systems within cultures. Certain cultures, not all. Some of the scientific community, parapsychologists, are there to disprove and do testing on people who have shown some form of ability to read things. Now, the interesting part of this is we only use a very small part of our brain. So or neurologists don't even know exactly what the brain can do. They just put you through a CAT scan or a MRI and see if you got a tumor, which I've had a couple. And everybody's going, yeah, I know, we know. But the interesting part is that they don't know for sure. I mean, they're honest. They've talked about theories, theoretically, this and that. Can a person actually leave their body? Is there a white light? Well, and of course, scientists will tell you that your brain probably has about 3 minutes. There during life. As you're fibulating somebody and they come back. What did they see? Scientifically, the brain lives for a good 5 minutes. And so can it dream and see many things during that time? The body is being put through serious shock. Okay, and it's being put through a trauma that is not normal. I mean, I've got my theory on why a man named Christ risen. I do not believe that he suddenly came back to life after bleeding out, and the way they crucified back then, yeah, they left him there for days, dehydrate. So basically, on a crucifixion, it could take anywhere from a few hours to bleed out or a few days, depending on a person. Point was, no water, no food. And nails through your arms, not hands. You'd have ripped off that cross. Why am I just putting all this there? Are we talking astral travel? Are we talking early ability to medically use CPR on somebody? Well, the Greeks and the Italians in Romans, were doing brain surgery, cranial, for centuries. Though I object to the way they did it, and so does medical science right now. But the point is, they actually started it. They may have drilled a hole in the head, but hey, in the past we've used leeches, and we're using leeches again under medical science. And the reason why is because they actually take out the bad blood. But they also give antibiotics and, electrolytes and all that too. Leech therapy is not a bad thing. And it isn't. Either is maggot therapy. So if you look at science and you look at then and you look at there and you look at when, how, maybe, ahead and right this second. I believe in the book. No, the Bible has some truth to it. Everything does. I consider it a history book. It always have. It's a history book. And as in any history book, there's many things that are exaggerated, many things that are inaccurate, and nobody back there was doing any research to find out if it was accurate or not. So we have a book, 2 books, now many books that teach what may have been, might have been, will be, or is. Many people right now believe that we are in the final stages. Yeah. That only the good will ascend to heaven. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I'd be one of them. But I do know that it is an interesting theory. You have a lot of survivalists out there that they wouldn't be survivalists if they really thought they were going to ascend. So it's an interesting theory. Even though many of the survivalists are Bible thumpers, heavy Bible thumpers, and they are ready for the end. They stock up on food and guns and smokes, and I can tell you the whole list of stuff you're supposed to stock up on because, well, I was taught that. But that reality, the other reality is some of these people who start these things have a following that they'll go into caves. Remember this one? A minister, and he took his flock into this cave because it had to be the end times. Well, they died. They died. I guess it's better to die during the last days than be eaten by the dead, if you take that literally. That's why zombie movies are made, really, because they are making fun of or mimicking what will be, or might be. I don't know. Everything is a theory. That is a theory. It's not scientific. It is a belief system in some so strong that they will kill their own people to prove how their power is. It's ego going into this. They run a whole group of people. Jim Jones was one. Koresh. Charles Manson. It was fascinating. It's not fascinating as it's going on. It's a hell of a nightmare, and to this day, it's still a hell of a nightmare. There's a lot of living survivors from all those messes. Heartbreaks. But it is the intellectual thing of I've got power, and I've got power over thousands of people. And I bet you I can get them to wear Nikes and drink the Kool-Aid. And they do. But why? Does Reiki work? Does healing help? Do any of these people who have taken on power and killed whole congregation have any validity in what they're experiencing, or is it that of a mad person or a schizophrenic? It's been said in theory, and when I was in this one class, that this one man said he does believe Jesus existed. Well, so do I. He was not the Messiah. But it is a possibility that if he did say and quoted He never said. Remember, he was quoted as saying these things. And if he had said these things, it sounds that of a schizophrenic or a serious bipolar or a combo. So you take the science, you take the theory, and then you have a discussion, a debate, or just a discussion. And in this group, I want discussions, because all of it is connected in one form or another, whether it be a theory, science fiction, or just plain insanity. What do you think?